Welcome to the Headley Highlight Show's Headley Headspaces. And this headspace is called Europe, the Vassal State Funding the American Revival. So before I jump into this week's headspace, which is called Europe, the Vassal State Funding the American Revival, I'd like to direct your attention to my YouTube channel. You can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Click the bell notification symbol and select all, and you can then see all of my uploads. I'm aiming to get to 2,000 subscribers, so if you can help by being maybe the 1,800th subscriber, that will be fabulous. In addition, you can go to my website, which is deniseheadley.com, or you can make a donation on my YouTube channel. I accept crypto and fiat, and I'm very partial to 3 wings and chips and a Miranda. So let's jump straight onto this headspace, which is called Europe, the Vassal State that's funding America's revival. Or I could even say that it's Europe, the Vassal State funding the American economic renaissance. Because that's what this is. So for those people who haven't, been paying much attention to that, the European Union signed an agreement with Mr. Trump to agree a number of things in relation to tariffs, in relation to goods and services. And this deal has a 15% tariff imposition on around 70% of EU exports, including cards, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, and these were previously facing much lower duties or no duties at all. The deal is really bad for Europe because of the price tag attached. What Mr. Trump is doing now is he's saying to people, if you want to access the American market, baby, you need to pay to get in. And that's exactly what Europe has done. And so has Japan. So Europe has agreed to spend $1.4 trillion with America over the next 3 years. So that's all the European Union's collecting people's taxes in, and Ursula von der Leyen on her own, just the council, they agreed to spend £1.4 trillion. And you telling me that this is an institution that we should aspire to be back in the middle of? It's anti-democratic. I mean, who decided in any election that that was a goal for Europe? £750 billion will be spent on American energy purchases by the Europeans. There will be $600 billion in additional US investments. So Europe is paying to make America great again because they want to access the marketplace. I don't think that's a particularly good deal in my view. Some sectors, unsurprisingly, aircraft and components, semiconductors and critical chemicals, all the things needed for, really important warfare creations, these don't face any sanctions whatsoever, and they don't feature in the agreement either. I also picked up today that the Americans are moving particular types of warheads into facilities in the UK. Because they want us to fight Russia in about 6 years' time. In order for this deal to get over the line, Europe had to pledge massive inward investment in America so that it could access its markets. And in addition to that, I think that was a trade-off so Trump didn't pull the plug on NATO. Only a few months ago, we were considering whether or not Trump was going to put exorbitant tariffs on everyone and effectively create a global slowdown. Well, within a few weeks of that particular distraction conversation, you now have the real meat and potatoes of the deal, which is that European pensioners, when they give and take money from their taxes, that is going to Donald Trump potentially in one of his projects where they will be spending significant sums of money none of them help to generate. What this also does is it signals to other countries that if you want to have a deal with America, you need to buy in. That's how this new regime works. You need to buy in. Some people describe it as a tribute being paid so that you can be in the presence of your imperial master, which basically is America. So they now have to pay money to get into the room, as opposed to whereas before they were able to walk directly into the room and, potentially put their case to Mr. Trump. So Trump actually isn't stupid after all. He's very strategic, and you might not like his politics, but it does get results. He basically said to everyone, I'm slapping tariffs on everyone. And then what he did is he did a number of backroom deals, which meant that those people who wanted lower tariffs and consistent tariffs, you need to put some money into my country. You maybe build a couple of roads, build some infrastructure projects. That's how he is moving. And I think that's particularly interesting. What do you think? What did you hear about the deal? What did you hear about the conversation in the deal? And was it only, oh, Trump is terrible, and you weren't given anything else to think about? And was he painted within the context of he was squashing poor Britain? I think that would be interesting. Let me know what your thoughts are. Give me your thoughts, your 2 pence, your 3 cities, or your declining dollar price, and cut!